Tonight, the countdown is on for CenterPoint Energy to meet a list of demands from Governor Greg Abbott after he says the utility lost the faith and trust of Texans. More than 2 million people lost power after Hurricane Beryl, and CenterPoint has been under tough scrutiny ever since. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry has more on what's at stake with this looming critical deadline.
Tonight, CenterPoint Energy tells me it will meet the governor's deadline, which he set to make sure the utility is prepared for the next storm. And the governor has threatened executive action if his office doesn't receive sufficient information. More than 3 weeks after Hurricane Beryl battered southeast Texas, criticism against CenterPoint Energy and CEO Jason Wells has mounted.
But I'm talking about one company that blew it, and your communication failures exasperated this and poured gasoline on the problem for millions of people.
An 11-hour hearing in Austin came before a Wednesday deadline set by Governor Greg Abbott in this letter to Wells. He wants to know how CenterPoint will eliminate vegetation issues by the end of August, better prepare for and respond to a hurricane, and get power back on more quickly for Texans in hospitals, nursing homes, or senior living facilities. Also on the list, how CenterPoint will speed up and prioritize installing more resilient poles, improve communications with customers, and fix the failure of its online outage tracker. So what happens if CenterPoint doesn't comply or provide sufficient answers? The governor says he'll take executive action to keep the power on through hurricane season. He also threatened to oppose any requests for rate hikes, and the state may even reconsider the region that CenterPoint covers.
We are actually selling businesses to focus more of our attention here in Texas.
The company is facing new criticism over a ratepayer-funded $800 million lease of generators.
It takes about 5 days and 3 flatbeds to move them.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick calls them not mobile or helpful in 99% of the emergencies Texas faces each year. He's now calling on the Public Utility Commission to make CenterPoint pay for them using company profits instead.
We need them to put the money into vegetation and power poles that withstand winds, and not buy big boat anchor generators that sit around for decades and aren't used.
State Senator Paul Betancourt says he'll file a bill to claw back the millions if the PUC doesn't act sooner.
But they haven't been making the investments they needed to. They haven't been focusing on what we need in H-Town, which is our utility to keep the lights on.
Tonight, a spokesperson for the PUC tells me the commission shares and understands the concern about these generators and looks forward to receiving a letter from Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick on the issue. CenterPoint plans to launch a new outage tracker on Thursday, and tonight we have not yet heard back from the governor's office ahead of this looming deadline. In Southwest Houston, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.